Hello everyone and welcome to the first match of MKU season 15. We've gone a long way and with me today we got Rookie. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? So, very first match of the season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. I haven't seen any other results or anything, so...
I know that a lot of times we had the Primetime at nights in the past to kick off the seasons. I don't believe that will be happening this season unless I'm gravely mistaken. I'm just getting back into things right now, so it's hard to tell. But we get into that soon. Lineup page is going to be coming up in just a second. And Drag, I think you're our Arcadia expert, so what do you think
I'm
about what we're going to see
I'm
today?
definitely part of Arcadia, so I may have some intel. We have a lineup consisting of Brandon, Jaden, Monfy, Jack, Yoshi, and Peoples. 3 Canadians, 2 Germans, and an American. No Ace T, man. I haven't looked enough in chat, I guess, to know as to why, but I haven't seen Ace being active there lately, so probably just busy doing something.
Yeah, that sounds that's a little bit surprising to me as well. I was kind of expecting to see Affaway also, I think, but I'm not entirely certain what the deal is there. If he's on break still, I know a lot of the French community's out. Hopefully, he's still on the team. I don't actually remember, but I think he is.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
And on the other side, we do have SecretX.
And like we mentioned, Arc going maxing out their Canadian potential, very much the opposite over on SecretX. The thing that immediately sticks out is no John and no Tynan, so it's going to be a little bit of a different dynamic than maybe we've seen from SecretX in some of their past matches. So unfortunately, we're not going to be getting a John versus former team match right here today, but surely SecretX has a lot of players that are coming off of a good win in Frontier, and surely there's more to prove in the community's staple tournament.
Yeah, because we can't forget, SecretX actually just won Frontier, like straight up, coming off hot.
I think that's their first tournament win, so surely the streak is now something to start talking about. And with the conclusion of Season 14 ending in World Friends Star not taking their 7th title in a row, I think for the first time in a while, you kind of sit back and think, well, who's going to win this season? Because I don't think it's as straightforward as normal. Obviously, I think that most people would say that World Friends still your favorite. Requiem or I guess defending, maybe not so much defending champion since they're not playing the season, are they're not playing the season, obviously, so there's no trendy picks say that they're going to do 2 in a row. We will have a new champion this season, even if it's a returning one. It'll be interesting to see who comes up on top, and SX as your Frontier champions may have a little bit to prove here.
Yeah, for sure. But like we said, there's no John, no Tynan. It will probably be fine for this match, as Arcadia also are missing some people, and I think this war is actually starting. So
yeah, and everybody's going to get everybody. Oh, leaving the script. No, everybody's gonna be given their best shot at teams like SX right now. Maybe the team to beat, if you will, and it's going to be interesting because in Division 1, never mind, there's C. We're not kicking off yet, most likely. In Division 1, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And in matchups like this one, where it's not an elimination match, I guess the elimination matches will technically start next week in the losers. But the thing to consider here is, you can drop this game and still be fine. But I think that Arcadia is projected to lose this one. SX is our favorite, most likely. But losing this match will not be determining of their entire tournament fate. But obviously, you would like to win this one because it's going to help with your bracket seeding. And of course, if they do win this one, it's going to make it a lot more safe to just make it to the next phase in general. So a lot on the line here. It's pretty much the difference between feeling great and feeling like, okay, urgency mode.
Yeah, and also the fact that it's third seed against second seed in the group. Like, if you lose this one, you do risk losing to third seed as well. Like that match can
Absolutely.
suddenly get a lot more pressure.
Yeah,
So
so
you
that's what's
definitely want
interesting
to.
about doing this one first, right? It's like you already know the result, so you know like just how much flexibility you truly have.
Also, please vote. Who do you think will win in the prediction? Currently, SecretX is sitting at like almost 90%. If you think that's wrong, just vote Arcadia, and if you think that's right, vote
I'm gonna
Primetime.
drop 10 on Arcadia Sky right now. I'm not feeling super confident, but I think it's surely doable. And in the case where it does it, this should be a good return if that's how the system works. I believe it is. So
Yeah, personally, I did put 10 on SecretX.
oh,
I,
drag, you can't go
I,
against
I,
your guys.
I do want to go for my guys, but this is a win-win situation. If they win, that makes me happy, and if SecretX win, I at least predicted correctly, I guess.
However you want to justify it, I guess. Uh, I'll leave that business up to you and your teammates. So
Yeah.
room is open again, but only 4 in, so we'll see what's happening here. Sorry for the delay, everybody, but you all can blame Arcadia and SecretX, not us. We're just here to deliver the news, of course. First match is being, I guess, delayed by a few minutes. We'll be right back on that grind in a minute. So, see what happens then.
Yeah, I assume everyone will join pretty quickly, and the room will probably begin in like a minute or so. So,
as far as point of views go, none from Arcadia's side, but we will be watching both Rhys and Varo from SX. So we may be switching back and forth. I think that's what you should be expecting right now. We'll get that underway in just a second. I think we're probably going to start off on Rhys, the well-known inward biker player, former lounge master. Very unique perspective. Yeah, and
that's something I really like about this X.
Yeah, they're a team. Well, until you have to play Toad's Turnpike against them, I guess. But very interesting to watch. You know, they're going to be. It's not even that they just have inward drifting bike players on their team. It's that they're arguably the best players on the team. You have Rhys, you have Roberto. I don't believe that LMDS is there anymore with Bree popping up, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But
you're correct.
Roberto and Rhys clearly are both absolute threats, and you don't want to let them get going in the front, because if you do, that is a one-way ticket to not having a good time. I'll just put it at that. And you know, there's tracks like Water Park also. They're superb at early in Wars. Mike Bachiller, you know, he's not really I think he biked actually a little bit in 8U before you know, like, you just could not bike in the meta anymore. Not the case anymore, but he's also an avid fan of Water Park, so that's something to expect there. Looking like we're getting a little bit of a connection issues, waiting for this room to get started, which is a little bit awkward. Seeing it go, and there we go.
Finally, match started. Excited to see Yoshi and Jack playing, because they're pretty recent additions to the Arc roster.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. There's a little bit of unknown factor here, how they're going to stack up and everything. And of course, you know, we haven't seen SX without John, I think, in a really long time. I think they've played a few more without Tynan, but still, no Canadians in the lineup for SX is definitely a little bit out of the usual. So, Arcadia going to get the track pick. Cloud Top going to come in first, maybe dodging a bullet from the PPS hosting factor from Rhys. Now we're underway, Drag.
Yeah. Let's see what this match will bring us. We do have SX in first, but it is a biker, and as we all know, bikers on this track is not really preferred.
Yeah. Alright, so taking a look at Rhys right here, and right away we're seeing why Cloud Top may have been the interesting pick coming in from Arcadia. Displaced Rhys before the war can really even begin, and Brandon's going to be taking the top spot almost immediately.
And Brandon is definitely someone we wanted on top spot for Arc. Very good at CTs, very consistent player, stuff like that. So let's see if SecretX can answer this. Brandon first.
Yeah,
They
Jiden
have Varo
trailing close behind him.
For sure, and Jiden also very fast, consistent player. So they definitely need to make some plays here as if they want to break this top 2.
That's going to be a good way to start it. Yeah, good on them to separate the red usages enough. Slip in right there. I think that is Monty that's going to actually drive into second, though, on top of all this. Jiden going down, but Brandon has extended his lead a little bit, and a very, very early shot comes in, making me think that maybe it could have been Arc, because I don't think Brandon was affected by it. Maybe it was a double shock scenario, who knows, but Brandon slowing down a bit from it. Monty's going to be going in first, though.
Yeah, Brandon probably tried to, if it was an arc shot, probably just dipped and stayed big.
Okay,
shot,
this is
nice
this is very dangerous for Arc right now, because if we look over at Varo right now, he does have 2 reds. I think he's going to be getting Monty out of first. Varo will actually take over up front. And now we have a top 2 with Mike and Varo. And they're everywhere up here.
Monty keep it third. Monty keep it third. And we also see Jiden up there, so definitely still doable for Arc to maybe take out one of these 2, but very likely a top 2 now for SecretX for this race. And that's the winning race, most likely.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if Arc can deliver any hits at all. It looks like they do have a decent amount of the mid-pack. They're going to have to watch out for Rhys, though, who has a bunch of green shells. I don't think he's going to actually hit anything, but Jiden will get hit on the line. Looks like Rhys is actually going to slip into 4th at the end, too. So 1-2-4 is going to be our start for SecretX. And even more, I think they had a DC issue. I'm trying to focus on who the player may have been, but I don't know for certain. Got no name in last place right there. Maybe was it the DK? Was it Roberto? Could have been, yeah. If that's true, that is just definitely not the start you want for Arc. And it's not that there wasn't like any encouraging signs for them that race. It was just SecretX made the plays that they needed to make at timely moments. Now, we didn't see it on stream, I think. Actually, maybe we did. I don't remember. Rhys took Brandon out with his triple greens as Varo pulled the double reds, and that double red set just was the bane of Monty's race, I guess. And without Brandon in that second spot, unfortunately, I don't know if that was an Arcadia shock, but slowing down just enough to let them get into 2-3, that's tough there, because it opened up a window for SecretX to take full advantage of, and looks like that was the difference in the race.
Yeah, personally, I have a feeling it was indeed an SecretX shock, but we won't really know until after the war, most likely.
It would just be weird, because that shock, I don't think it hit Brandon. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that could be explaining why he slowed down so much, but it was very early on. It's not a lot of dodges.
Yeah, but Brandon was big, so I do think Brandon dodged.
Yeah.
So that means an arc shock, or just heard there was a shock in play.
I don't know. It's maybe he dipped down. I doubt it, though. At that glider, that's like the worst possible place to go for it, I would think.
But we do have Dentist. Or
okay, we're not doing that. Ribbon Road, Dentist, as Arcadia likes to mention it. So 2 for 2 on track picks is going to be nice for them. I think some of them got up into the higher spots early in the race, so maybe it works out a little bit for them. Looking at Varo right now, who has a Shroom in 4th. It's going to be big for him if nobody else pulled Shrooms in front, but it looks like Brandon will be getting up there, and he has a horn with him, and he may be able to slow down, try to take some Arcadia out, but it looks like he's going to opt to hold right now. Yeah, finally uses it and gets rid of Monty. That was good, because Monty's going to Shroom up 100%.
Oh, for sure. Like everyone will.
Outside of Varo, it is all Arcadia up here. And again, it's a great running track, but you're going to have to watch out for the shock, because if there is shock, it'll be really easy to hit a lot of people off on the glider. Rhys is actually going to give him some much needed help, though, and pull into 3rd, and he will be taking the cut and passing Varo on screen in a second. And there he goes.
Yeah, but still very arc advantageous.
I don't know, it looks like Mike is 3rd too right now, and there's a blue coming in, so Wait, hold on.
As we see Rhys first.
What happened up there?
Wait, Mike taking the move?
Yeah, I'm incredibly lost right now. It looks like they tried to slide out for Mike to maybe shroom up, but they have top 3 right now. And I'm not certain if Arcadia is going to have the shock because a lot of them were up front the whole race, and unless the 2 guys they had it earlier has it, this is looking to be very good for SX.
Yeah, it seems like no shock rookie, and probably a top 2 at least for SX, maybe even a top 3, but I don't think so.
Seems like more of the same even, 1, 2, 4 at the very least, and maybe even a little bit worse than the last one.
I mean, definitely a big win for SX once again. So Arcadia needs something different now to start a comeback. Like the facts just worked out.
And this is not really, this is not really an encouraging sign because you got the 2 track picks. It seemed like they worked out in your favor early on, but something happened to prevent you guys from holding on to the top spots throughout the race. SX did not need the shock really to plow through at the very end of either of them, so something's going wrong in the middle. Because I don't know exactly what happened there. It appeared that Arc was in first for a while, but then we turn the corner and we just look over and it's Rhys who's actually in first, and they had a top 4, and I didn't understand like where the top 4 exactly appeared from, but Arcadia lost first somewhere in the process that went under our radar.
For me,
such is life when looking at 2 screens.
Like SX has been more effective with. Seems like SX just have been more effective with their items. They have been hitting more crucial. They got the hits you need, and skipping ahead.
Yeah, may want to take a look at Varo right now.
We have Varo in third.
Varo surviving the initial onslaught. It looks like Arcadia did get some items in. Whether or not he trails this item will be really telling, and he doesn't because Darky's up here. But Darky, I think, maybe going down to a red.
It skipped, though.
Yeah, it was definitely a skip. Drax gonna pull into first. Really, I don't think it's a big deal for SX. A lot of them died at the beginning, but Drag pulling into first, who really cares at the end of the day if you have somebody up there who's going to hold the fort down? And with Varo protecting him right now, this is going to be a bit of a wall.
Yeah, a lot of Arc in this call.
Yeah, but I don't...
like every
Yeah, and this is not where you want to be because it allows players like Rhys, as we're going to see here, is pulling into third under the radar, not having to really worry about hitting anybody in the pack, and he just kind of slid into third. Oh, and Varo! Green bounces off the wall and will hit him with a little bit of a lucky break, actually, for Arcadia. And the top 2 is slotting ahead. I don't know who he just backed. It was hard for me to see right there. Triple Shrooms in second is going to be very useful. He's going to have to watch out in case T-Pose has a red, but it looks like we're cruising right now. And again, the lead in first from Drac, just growing so hard. And Varo has triple reds in the middle of the pack, and that's going to be rough. But a shock comes in, and I'm guessing this is most likely Arcadia shock. So we'll be seeing in a second the effects of this.
We see G coming up. You see Brandon coming up.
Can he get reds? He does not, and that's going to be rough. And even though some Arcadia members came up, this is not going to be enough for them to get into first. Second, still held onto by Rhys right now, and he has a shroom. A little bit of a risk to go for the double right there, but it's looking to be rewarded for now. We'll see. He's going to horn and then maybe shroom, block the cut. Or T-Pose can boomerang him! At least I think that might slid up at the end, though.
3-4? 1-3-4-5 for SX.
Yeah, and
that shot didn't help much.
No, and that's the scary part about Wario Stadium, right? It's like, you see a shock and you think you have a sign of life, but when first just so gone, so many coins just outspeeding everybody the whole race, it's so hard to get back up there, and really even getting into second was a bit of a miracle there at the very end.
Also the fact that they were able to take out one of the 2 Arc Dodgers almost instantly after the spawn, after the star despawned kind of thing, was really good for SX. Makes it advantageous for spots.
Yeah, frontal presence. I mean, that's the difference right there. They got into the front early, so it wasn't really how it was scripted. I think they definitely picked it for different reasons than having a. I think it was Drac. I'm not entirely certain. Running the whole race, but you'll take it as long as somebody gets up there, and that's just something that they were able to hold on to, which has really not been the story for Arc so far in this war. They're gonna have to I mean, they've had the setups just fine right now, but they're gonna have to hold on eventually, and we'll see if they can do something here. Shrooms early would be a good opportunity, but I'm not sure how many of them they're gonna get.
Yeah, personally, I just think Arc needs to start hitting more items on SX. I feel like that's just like the big difference right now.
Yeah, I mean the hard part is like
Are...
taking those risks, right? But not hitting your team in the process. But sometimes you have to go for it because if you don't, you'll essentially be a sitting duck, and you can't let that happen if you want to be winning these D1 level wars. All right, so Rhys in 7th at the end of the lap. Boomerang behind a Shroom, certainly going to be useful for him right up here. Going to be able to take the cut, maybe get a look into the top 2 in just a second now. Opposite back, it may be indicating that SX has a ton of the top spots already. I did see Brandon Shroom up, but I don't know where Brandon is right now. And it looks like Varo is actually in the back checking on Jack right now to see possibility of the shock. He has a ghost in case he wants to try to, steal something from him. And yeah, I haven't really seen a lot going on in the front to indicate that it would be Arcadia in first right now, but certainly we'll see soon if so.
Did you see Jiden coming up? Ooh, Rhys getting boomeranged by something.
Yeah, that star is really interesting. Jiden could just win if they have it, but he's in right now, and I don't think that anything is coming.
Yeah, as we see Rhys stopping for a bit.
Yeah,
stopping.
Varo's also holding the blue, as we can see right here, so looking like a pretty good race for SX. 2 of them are likely to be getting bottom spots, but I think at this point in the war, up 48, they're willing to just take it. Shock does come in, though. But
and
I don't know how many people.
Well.
I don't know how many people actually dodge that, and if anything, you have to worry because now Varo and Rhys may be able to actually swipe some spots at the end. I think there was one dodge up front from Arc.
To the first.
Yeah.
I think someone started first.
My guess is that somebody in Arc got first, but it's not going to be great, but
Top
maybe
2,
not.
3. Top 2, 4, I mean.
Top 2, 4, that's been how we've been winning the war today, right? I think it's been like almost every race, it feels like, for one team.
But definitely the best race Arc has had yet. So gotta look at the positives. Maybe this is the beginning of a comeback.
Yeah, I was a bit worried there because, Jiden had the star at the end of lap 2 and used it. No shock comes in, so it's kind of a bit of an indicator. Okay, they likely don't have it. Maybe they pull it at second set to get the desperation move because there's really only one guy that obviously dodged on our screen. Maybe there's a ghost, who knows, but you think, okay, maybe that was a little bit of a desperation shock, and that's not going to win you a lot of wars. But in this case, Arc may have been actually a little bit lucky because Rhys not really with the best items after going back. Varo was holding a blue. There was not a lot of things that they could do to dodge up with them. In the end, top 4 gets broken because really nobody in the back for SX had any dodges.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like. And Arc got a lucky shock probably, and had the got some dodges as well to, to dodge.
Alright, so interestingly enough, the one thing I've noticed I think everybody's probably seen right now is Roberto's going Daisy. Not sure exactly what the strategy is here, or if we're just having an annoying war so far. It's certainly something that's possible because, Roberto is definitely a player that I think sees the front a lot, likes to hold. I mean, that's how SX wins a lot of their wars. He'll just drive in 130 and nobody stops him. This war, DC on race 1, not the best end is. The race is after. Shot comes in for Arc race 4. Who knows? I don't know exactly the mood right now, but, if anybody's going to win on Daisy, maybe the guy that made Mario threw out a lot of 8U. Sorry, I just completely talked through that lap. Rhys is now first. Good on him to actually get up there. Arc had a lot of reds early on, so.
But we do see Arc 2-3 with the Zelda squad, Jack and Brand.
Yeah, and they're close enough. They were close enough that they pressured him to holding the banana in the first slot through the set. The question is, do they have any other res to punish him right now? I'm not sure if they do, but we'll see.
Oh, that pressure!
Oh, there's a blue in play. Not really going how you envisioned, I think, but it's a valiant effort there.
But this means top 2 for Arc probably. Maybe
yeah.
Top 4?
Varo got up there early on. Oh, what just happened to them? Looks like 2 hits.
We have
They're
Dragon
2-4.
early 2-3.
Well,
Wait, what happened?
that paints a big question on who's in first right now. You would like to think that maybe it's Brandon because he was up front, but I'm not entirely certain if it is, so we're gonna have to see. And if they have Reds, this could be brutal. And if they don't have Reds, it could still be a top 4. So definitely be a little worried if you're an Arc fan right now. We'll have to see. Shot comes in late. Rhys and Darky dodging actually, and a blue's coming in. Will the blue reach? It may. I can't really see the map well enough. But they have a lot of the middle spots right now, SX.
What was that finish? But we do see Arc 1, 3, 5.
Alright. That was not as bad as I was expecting, actually.
That's a very even race.
Need to give Arcadia some credit. This is a Division 1 level team. You see 2 people on the other team dodging. It doesn't always mean that it was a complete stomping in terms of dodge numbers. So Arcadia, I don't know who shock it was, but both the teams, covering their bases right there, not letting the shock impact the race too much. Looks like Arc holding on to first after all, but my gut's wanting to tell. It's hard to say because SX did a good job in dodging the back there, but they had 2 through 4. So if that was their shock, did it improve the result of the race? No, I don't think it did.
Personally, I think that was Arc shock.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking also. Because first glance, definitely looks like SX, but 1-3 coming out of that, I mean, that's a win for Arcadia given the circumstance, because there could have been Reds at the end too.
It definitely got SX 2 through 4 after last set, which is huge. So
yeah,
that's why I think it's
good observation, for sure. Again, SX doing what they didn't do on DHC there, dodging at the very end, kind of getting a lot of those mid spots. 3 of the bottom 4 goes to Arc, but they did get the top spots to salvage the race, so not a super big one. What is this track? I don't know. I'm not a big Moo picker anymore, but it's definitely a track that kind of decides itself in the first lap a lot of times. And then it should be a very scary sign to Arcadia already, seeing this top 3. Let's see. Rhys in first is something you never really want to see, of course, if you're an opposing team, especially on a track that is pretty biker friendly.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely one of the more biker-friendly tracks, and you only got 2 sets of items, which really helps you running, because even though there are shortcuts, they aren't really that effective.
Seems like they got Varo out of the top spot, which is actually a big development for Arcadia there. It's going to deplete Rhys's defenses just a little bit. Mike's still holding on to second, but we'll have to see. Because they do have some people up there.
Varo, it's good. Hey. Oh, Mike got hit?
Yeah, and Brandon and Monfy are trailing him right now. If they can change some reds, this could be good. You have to worry, though. Oh, and Varo's going to steal Rhys's item. Maybe wanting to scoot back over to Rhys right now, who is defenseless in first. With Arcadia behind him, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get any reds on time. Oh, that is a huge pull. That is a huge pull. Blue's coming in, likely held. I don't think that there's going to be another red. Rhys will hold on to first right here, and even though Arc had some people up here, I don't know how many it actually was. We'll see. 2-3 is going to help, but a whole lot of mixed.
That seemed like a slightly winning race for SX once again. Probably extending the lead a tiny bit, which is exactly what you want if you're an SX fan right now. Yeah,
I don't like to be one that blames luck a lot right there, but that was the ideal pull for Rhys in that situation right there, pulling 2 defense items with the 2-3. They had the green light to throw all the reds that they possibly could, but it wasn't enough today. And for once, front-running wins. Front-running wins out.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super unlikely. Like, getting a coin is around 50%, right?
Well, here's the thing.
5% chance of that happening.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. All I know is like pulling a coin from a single box is roughly a 70% chance in this game. So, but the thing is, obviously, you can't have 2 coins at once. So defense is guaranteed from a double, but getting double defense can be moderately unlikely at times because it's like, all right, you get a 30% pull. And then you get another. I don't know. I think it's definitely rare. I don't want to say it's 10% rare. I don't have the
30%.
actual facts, but
Well, then
it's definitely not super likely.
then it's a 9%. That would be
All
a
right.
9%
We
chance if that's
We are getting what Rhys wanted race 1 right now,
yes.
starting in first, yeah. So we'll have to see if he's completely ready for it. Again, you can see how strong inward drifting bikes look to start these races off, but he is getting nudged just a little bit, and enough to actually lose out on the coins right there. Monfy's presence up here is big.
As you do see Monfy staying.
Yeah, but there is a red behind him, so he's going to have to be very careful to not get hit out right here. It is all SX up here outside of Monfy, I think. And thing is, like, he has first right now, but shrooms exist. Yeah, we'll see. I'm guessing that SX is likely kind of dominating the front spots right now. We know Varo is in the back because we have the other perspective. Blue is coming in, though. Or somebody. Not entirely certain who it is going to be, but we'll certainly see.
Well, it's either Monfy or SX. That's all I know.
Yeah, the good news for SX right now is...
for both Varo and Rhys now.
Yeah, that's always big. Rhys goes into a star, Varo's opting to hold his, so looking like no shock, at least on SX's end right now. And really, okay, I think I saw Monfy go down, so that may actually be indicative of a developing story up front. I imagine that it's a lot of SX up there, but I feel like there's gotta be one ARC member up there, but I'm not sure who it is. And Varo is still holding the star, so in the event of disaster for SX, they have a backup plan right now, and Rhys getting a ghost on top of it. They're right back in that huge position of advantage from earlier. I don't think that SX is going to be pulling a shock right here, but they're not going to lose to an ARC shock right now, you would have to imagine. Now the blue's coming in.
Like, Rhys using the boo to dodge the glider shock. Doesn't happen though. So
ooh, bomb coming in. Rhys is gonna pull a great spot right here. Darky with, I don't know whose bomb that was. Oh no, getting clipped up against the wall right here. Arc needs to have first here. I don't think they do. Oh, that is brutal.
Oh, that's awful for Arc.
Yeah, that's the kind of race that makes the comeback looking very grim. And, you know, it's really coming down to, like, these big races, right? It looks like Arc was clearly hanging with them for a little bit there. Kind of even race 3 through 6. Just at the half, they were down 40, largely just because they lost the first 2 races by a solid chunk. And, you know, that was the race that they needed if they were going to get back in it. And now when it comes to, like, big races, I would say, SX has 4 of them now even. I think the first 3 races were all -16s. And even though Arc had a little bit of fight back left in them, it's just it wasn't enough to really dent the gap really whatsoever. So they're in quite a bit of a hole right now. They're going to need to make some magic happen. That starts at the big races. So we'll see if they have any fight left in them. But... yeah. I kind of want to challenge the notion, actually, that Cheese is like this great track for all bottom spots. I think it's more so just... I think it's more so just the other team doesn't really have an advantage starting in the spot. Because, you know, players don't play the game on this track. Any advantage that you really get from your starting spot on Cheese Lane, you're just kind of forfeiting the second you stop at the first set. So, really, it's just kind of like a... it's neutral, if you want to say that. Like, who gets the advantage from doing what? Well, we don't know. We're all just kind of playing chess here. Not that I'm saying that Cheese Lane is chess, just you start in a position that's no better than anybody else, really. It's on you to make do with it.
Having a neutral track after a losing race is what you want, though.
Well, I don't know. We've seen a lot of teams actually opting to pick 64 Rainbow Road recently, I think. And the back end seeing a lot of success from it. So, you know, if there are more tracks where... good play on Teebs, actually steal the double. That's 2 potential boxes Varo could have gotten shocked from, and that's going to be a rough start for them. And unfortunately for Teebs, so it's not going to be rewarded, because if we switch over here, Rhys is holding one himself right now. Okay. that was really weird because he used it as the star was running out, but that was just Rhys's shock, I think. Because
yeah, so
he
we had
used it.
Two shocks have been used. There will probably be one more this race, I'd say.
Where was two? I thought that was just one. Am I mistaken? Was I just not paying attention?
I think we just used their shock right after the previous shock, but I'm not entirely sure.
I'll take your word. I think it may have just been his, but then again, I think I did see a lightning bolt appear on him, but he uses at like the same time, so it's hard to say. Nonetheless, Rhys is in an amazing spot right now. Obviously, would like to have the items kind of switched, but yeah, and here it is, and Rhys holding a bill in a top spot. He's probably just winning this race. Yeah, and Varo's on the way back up. Rhys will dodge. And again, this is what I'm talking about right here. It's like, yeah, you get a neutral track on Cheeseland. Brandon actually having a shroom of his own up here.
Did Brandon have a ghost?
He may have. I don't know. He slid under the radar for sure. So who knows exactly?
I don't think I saw.
I think this is probably winning for SX, but I'm not entirely certain because they had the shocks. Brandon just kind of made it out of there.
4, 6, yeah, still not, definitely not a bad race for SX.
I mean, in that point, it's just like it pretty much feels like winning the war.
Like a lot,
right? Yeah, I mean, it feels like you just win the war. Like when you have races that are neutral at this point, it just makes it so much harder for them to win. And again, still, I want to challenge this notion of Cheeseland, right? Because it's like, Ark could have won that race, yeah, but was it the best possible pick? I'm not sure. I think that maybe one thing to consider is like coins are given out to players more heavily in the back. There's tracks that maybe have fewer coins. Maybe there's more of an advantage to starting on the back than other tracks because, I mean, we've been picking these tracks like Desert and Cheeseland for the back really forever now, and I'm not certain that
first came out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're pretty much just neutral, right? We've accepted that like nobody has an advantage because the track got picked. It's better than giving teams a potential run here. Question is, are there better options? Who actually knows? But again, if you pick Cheeseland as an opponent, it does not stop the team that's beating you from perhaps pulling 2 or 3 shocks of their own that race. Question is, do you have any better options? Who knows?
This is why we need more data for this game.
I agree.
Imagine just getting track data for every track.
I mean, we have 48 tracks in this game. I think our meta plays pretty much only 20. It'd be cool if we explored a little bit more, because who knows? Any year 5 tracks moving up the usability or usage tier list, Funny how we can discover things, but a lot of people are wondering, what are these tracks good for? And certainly what I'm asking right here on DAC Winner. But the thing is, for me, it's like, well, you pick tracks for a reason and stuff. Then we have this interesting course where, depending on RNG, really it affects how you're going to play to begin with. Maybe a little opt to bag a little bit more on, winter, maybe not. But it's interesting.
Yeah,
as somebody in Arcadia,
RNG.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you have like strategies for your specific seasons, and you like most of them? So it's like, okay, let's see what we roll here. We know what we have to do.
I
just
personally
feel comfortable with it all.
I think we're just like this track. I just really like this track, dude.
I don't know, dude. I mean, with that logic, I'm it makes me question the strategic purposes. Unfortunately for Ark, though, it seems SX is kind of getting the hot hand right now with the shock. Yeah. This plant just kind of stopping right now is being annoying. Blue's coming in, but I think SX probably has most of the top after that shock anyway, as evidenced by maybe slowing down the plant a little bit.
As we do see no signs of SX getting a bad race still.
Yeah. Well, Rhys going down right there. But I don't know how much damage it's going to be causing.
But I do think SX have.
Yeah, if they get 1-3-4, that's still not going to be helpful. It depends what first place is. Hopefully it's Ark, but I don't think it is. Want a close war. is Darky, and I think that one's probably closing it up right now. And it looks like Brandon may have actually not gotten a top 5 spot after all. So it's looking like our defending Frontier champions. I mean, I guess
that's the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's looking like, in summary, it's looking like SX, not SS, is that one's hard to say, dude. Pulling this one out. We don't have a defending MKU champion to hype up, so, I guess our defending champion we can all effectively say is our Frontier winners. I know a lot of people try a little bit harder in MKU, I guess, but still, big win for SecretX. Kind of a foregone conclusion that they will be a team to expect in the top 8 bracket that'll be taking place over the next 3 weeks. But to get this one out of the way.
For Yoshi.
Yeah.
Because Yoshi DC Thompson subbing in, which definitely means Ace Demon is just not here.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see a Tomsu cameo, even if it's only for 3 races. Very well-known, respected player in the scene.
Definitely did really well for some matches for NTC this summer in the World Cup qualifier.
I knew you were going to find a way to slip in Team Nordic hype in there. Finland's traditionally been a really good country for I think a lot of people think of Mario Kart Wii when talking about like Nordic being completely stacked and stuff, but in Mario Kart 8 historically there's been a lot of good players from Finland, Tomsu of course being one of them. So good to see him a little bit. Finland has been the
dominant part in Mario Kart 8 as well, as for top players at least.
Mm-hmm.
Sweden kind of catching up though, but I'd still give Finland #1 spot in the Nords.
Yeah. Alright, so as far as the war goes, it's not over, but I don't think that we've ever been in our part of the simulation, we've never actually been in a scenario where a team has come back minus 106 with 3 to go. It is probably like a 1 in a trillion chance when
that's brutal.
Yeah. And there's a shock also, so I'm not saying it's over, but it's over. Hopefully we aren't in the simulation where Arc wins and I get completely embarrassed. I don't think that's going to happen with the 3 dodges and the blue cancel. So really it's just looking like SX is taking a victory lap right here. Really showing up even without the Canadian presence in the team, showing that they can get it done without him. Rhys not having a fun time even after the blue cancel, but I don't think it's going to matter here. Enough of them are up front. SX is going to be kicking off the MKU season with a win. And how far do we think that they can go?
I mean, personally, I think they can definitely challenge the title.
Yeah.
Especially if John plays. But he is starting university, so we'll see if that happens or not.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat there. Everybody's like, the way we were talking, everybody's like, yo, is that a top 6? No, it was Arcadia in top 2. It's just we knew the war was over, so more focus goes to that.
Yeah.
Of course. There's one interesting topic, I guess, to bring up that we could talk about right now while it's fresh in the mind of everybody. But, there was a thread a week or 2 ago, I think, called a surrender system. I think a very common opinion on that was, you fight with honor, right? Like even if the war is over, it's like you're just skipping out on like toughness or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, or like sticking it out. That's definitely something that's desired. But I know that you were actually kind of an advocate for ending wars early when the results come in. Now, I'm not sure about it, and I'm not sure about it when it comes to like group stages, like what we're doing right now. But as far as bracket matches, I actually agree with you, Drag. I think when a war is mathematically over, I don't think there's really any reason to continue it. I think that it would maybe even actually save time in some early rounds. I guess we'd have I guess you would have like some races or like some wars where you play 12 races, or it goes to 12 and all of that. But I think it would allow some legs of brackets to actually end quicker, because you don't play entire brackets on one day. It's not like a tournament that you go to, like for a fighting game and like some match bottlenecks the entire bracket. I think it would allow people to finish earlier, have more time to themselves, while still playing all the rounds. Very much not like an FFA, but I think it'd also give good goal incentives. You know, you don't have to play garbage time races, I guess, like we see right now, where we're just kind of playing for pride and all of that. I mean, I know it's good to like challenge yourself and all that, but in a tournament setting, it's like you wonder, are these races really necessary? I know, like, obviously you're just going to score for bracket matches and all that, but I think it definitely is a worthwhile discussion to have. It's like, if it's mathematically over, is there too much value to continuing to play? And, you know, there could be new goals and stuff. It's not like by how much you lose by, but it's like, hey, we took SX. We took SX to 12, right? That could be like new phrase and stuff. It's like, that's impressive, right? It's like, we didn't beat SX, but, you know, the next best thing is taking them to the last race, right?
Yeah, and imagine if there was like a point system where you got like half a point for race 12, 1 point for race
that would be
12,
really interesting,
like
actually, not gonna lie. I mean, you could get rid of your plus minus, right? It's just like, no, you get the points based off how many races you got left, and that'd be a good way to, you know, say, all right, to be like, all right, guys, we're down 120 or something, or like 122 with 4 left, but if we can win this race, we can take them to 10, and that could give you a point or something. It'd be just completely different, and I think it'd be interesting, personally.
Yeah.
What do you all think, chat? Does point difference matter? Tiebreakers?
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
I see some chat. Yeah, tiebreakers, basically.
Yeah, I mean, finding new ways to, like, mess with your tiebreak systems, right? Or, like, make it more enjoyable overall. I mean, that's a goal to have right now. Gotta constantly talk about how to make the tournaments better. I think this is definitely reasonable. Now,
Ooh, nice
I know it's too late.
Yeah,
I know it's definitely too late, but speaking of, you know, the respectability and the plus minus Arcadia, getting some races in here that are definitely going to be helpful. I don't actually know, because I don't know if it's actually helpful, unless, like, the 3 seed beats SX. Pretty unlikely to happen, but you never want to rule anything out. But, yeah, I mean, even outside the tiebreakers, it would just be cool to say, like, all right, we took him this many races. 3rd seed in this pool, I'd have to look it up.
Cause
it's all up on Twitter. I made a post about this.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Midnight Wasp, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna say, like, if there's, like, 1 3 seed to be afraid of, it could definitely be Midnight Wasp. Because that is a team that I think can give a lot of top teams fits. They play... I would say they play a little bit differently than a lot of people are accustomed to. They're very much focused on delivering hits. I think it's a pretty smart strategy, you know. Coins matter a lot in this game. How do you beat the other team? Well, make it so they're poor the entire match and just can't outspeed you. That's one way to look at it. And I think that their shocking usage is definitely very strong.
Yeah, and if you do a card game perspective, going for 2 for 1 is like great, and I think Wasp really likes that.
They really I mean, their team leader's Felix, right? Their team leader's Felix, and he's a math guy. You get all this game theory stuff kind of going in, and it's like, all right, what's the best way to win? Well, take the trades that are going to win for you. And they are a team that will do that. They will hit you all day, every day, if it will give them a numbers odds. Even if it's a little bit risky, you know, fight the probabilities and all that stuff. They're definitely a scary 3 seed. So that can be good news for Arcadia if they're able to, you know, get into a 2-1 scenario, maybe even win the group. But it could also be their worst nightmare if they are not careful with the MW war, because they're a team that is certainly capable of making some upsets. You know, if you go back in the day, the first Swiss tournament in MK8 history, Midnight Wasp getting to the finals when they weren't even an established Division 1 team at the time. So, you know, they play their game. They're good at it, and they can surprise some people. So we'll see how the rest of this group comes out. And of course, you know, shout out to Difference for also being in the group. I don't think Resemblance is playing. I'm not entirely certain, but Difference is here in the top division of Prelim, so we'll see how they do. And wow, that's a plus 38, so any plus minus that Arcadia was gaining there. has seemingly been erased with the 64 Rainbow Road race, and that's going to do it. I don't know if you have any closing comments, Drag. Just
Yeah, and
dang,
SX,
SX
as
taking care of
predicted by the
business.
viewers, won the war. Uh, I just want to go to bed now.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Seems like we're rating Rhys
but,
right now, so if y'all want to congratulate
good.
him, go there and watch some MKU because you know there's more matches in the day. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, for the first MKU Primetime of Season 15. Drag.
And good luck
anything
everyone in MKU.
Of
I
course,
assume
got
most
that
people
coming
are
up.
playing, so
Yeah. We'll see you all next week. Probably at the
Bye.
normal time. We'll see. Later, boys.